Good morning and welcome to Atlantic Blowout on Atlantic Television Network. Do not forget this is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence reports, expert opinion and stakeholders analysis. In the headlines for today, the first is from Anambra State. Law targets ban on noise pollution, not evangelism. This is from Soludo. In Ondo State, governor's aides blames farmers for attacks, proposes self-defense. National House of Assembly reps order NCC to shut down porn sites nationwide. Hardship reps urge CBN to suspend new ATM charges. And insecurity, IGP reiterates ban on public parade of suspects. And finally, on the corruption, investigative panel begins probe of senior correctional officers. Do not forget that we are still open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our 8 socials on Facebook and YouTube, on Atlantic Television Network on Instagram and TikTok, on Atlantic TV Network 1 on Twitter, on Atlantic TV Net. You can watch us live on our website at www.atlantic.net.work.tv. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we will continue the rest of the stories. To stay with us. Welcome back. Joining us today is Amadi Michael Onohai. He's a socio-political analyst. Thank you so much for joining us here, Michael. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me too.
Thank you for being here.
Good morning, viewers.
Good morning, everybody. Anambra State government has clarified the ban on streets and markets evangelism, saying the target of the law is not to stop the spread of the gospel, but called noise pollution. The State Commissioner for Information, Dr. Law Mefo, gave the clarification in a statement made available to journalists in Oka on Tuesday. Mefo said Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo's recent encounter with an itinerant preacher at Onitsha Market was misinterpreted as a ban on evangelism, whereas his focus was on noise pollution, which has been banned by an extant law on public health. The issue at hand is noise pollution, not evangelism. Noise pollution is punishable under Section 8, subsection 14b, and Section 1, subsection 12 of the Public Health Laws of Anambra State 2006. As a matter of precedence, a magistrate court in Nnewi made this law actionable against a church in 2019. The public is therefore advised to disregard any claims suggesting Governor Soludo has banned evangelism or public preaching in Anambra State. Instead, we urge citizens to adhere to the public health law and respect the rights of others. Mefo added that the governor clarified his stand when he drew attention to the Public Health Law 2016, which prohibits noise pollution and preaching in inappropriate places like markets using loudspeakers. He said the governor advised preachers to conduct the activities in churches or designated areas where people can gather and listen to the word without disrupting others' activities. I would love to get your thoughts on this. Considering your stand on religion, I'd love to get what you have to say on this. You know, in as much as Soludo has come to debunk that claims by the public of Anambra State, the citizens of Anambra State, that he banned evangelism. You know, if we have to look at it, the morning criers in the morning, it's not wrong to come to preach, you know, talk to people about a particular religion, yes, Christianity, you know, and we are the ones that actually practice that more than every other religion. It's not in a bad instance to let people know about the religion you practice. I am a Christian. You know, I will not, you know, refuse the fact that I recognize myself as one. You know, it's not in any way a wrong stance to come out in the morning to cry out and make people know the way forward in Christianity. But when it comes to where you have to disrupt the peace and sleep of people, imagine someone coming out by 3, 4 a.m. to cry, and oftentimes they stay just directly by your window in that instance. And aside that, there are churches and places on the streets, down the street, that you see about 5 churches, and some of them have services from Mondays to the weekend. You know, that's instance. In as much as it's saying, yes, have your churches where you do conduct your services and all of that, still in those churches, there are still not they do not still practice conduct ways to reduce noise pollution. If we have to refer back to Lagos State, where some hotels, churches were actually closed down due to environmental noise pollution that actually happened. If you ask me, that's actually a way forward to, you know, stopping all of that. But I'd love to get your thoughts, like I stated, on the fact that you are a pastor. Let's say it's that. let's get it from that religious aspect.
It's okay. I think from the religion aspect, I would say that it is not wrong to preach. And then another thing, because if you ask me, the Bible said somewhere that we should go into the world and preach the gospel. But then they didn't define the exact way to do this thing.
Okay.
But as believers, I was meant to understand that some persons now left the exact message as, say, abusing the privilege given to Christians. I love God so much. He's my father, he's my source. But the truth is, have you seen the Muslim on the street distracting people? They don't. Christians, I don't think we do exactly what we preach. When you ask me, how do I mean? You know, how can somebody leave his own place where we call church? How can you leave your church and your church auditorium and you're going to do evangelism somewhere, either inside a market or in someone else's window, as if you are targeting a particular person to do that, or you want to get back at a particular person? No. I am saying that Christianity, it's not bad. But when you remove love from Christianity, it becomes a mere religion. And when I talk about love, love is when you understand what the next person, the way the next person feels. The person's feelings at that time. I might be, either I want to pray with my family, I just want to seek the face of God alone inside the room while we're talking. All of a sudden, someone will just come out with a speaker. And you see that speaker being faced my door. Or I have a baby who is in the house, who ordinarily I wanted this baby to be either to sleep. Maybe I didn't sleep last night as a mother trying to look after this child.
True.
All of a sudden, that early morning that the baby is has fallen asleep is when our brethren are out there trying to pass a good message of Christ. So to me, I think since the law has been established that was 2006 and was not actually enforced. Soludo on his own has decided to enforce it. I'm totally condemning the fact where they said Soludo has banned evangelism. No, he has. All he's saying is that Christians should know where to preach this gospel. Christians should have a specific day. You can communicate the market women, for instance, and say, I'll be coming on Wednesday. Well, no matter what you're doing that Wednesday, I want you to be with Christ that particular day. So we share the gospel. That Wednesday, market women are now on their own. Take it as part of their service day as market women. They'll be like, okay, they'll be coming to share the word of God with us today, that is Wednesday. By that Wednesday, the market women are already aware. Not when you just come all of a sudden, you see somebody wanting to fix speaker and band set at the walkway. It is very risky. They're not looking at the risk that is being attached. They're not looking at the risk that is being attached. So, Soludo, please keep up. I love what you're doing in Anambra State, in trying to see how you can comb the way, to comb the air pollution from the health sector. You know, it is wrong. I have an uncle who has this ear impairment. How did he contact it? It was where he was working. Then this noise kept on coming till the thing congealed the ear. As it stands now, he used an impairment to hear. A machine to hear.
Was that from noise pollution
Yes,
from a church?
yes. No, not from a church, where he works.
Okay.
So when you talk about it, is not only church that Soludo is facing.
Yes, yes.
He is saying, including those who make activation, those who does this promotion of products, as they call them, promo whatever advert. Those who you see at the center of the road, you see them carrying and other van walking around all of the neighborhood, advertising that, oh, this soap is supposed to be 500 naira, but we are giving you for 200 naira and all that. You know, they might not know the effect of that. Take River State, for instance. We have a River State Signage and Advertisement Agency. When you talk about advertisement, they are the people who are in charge. They comb anything that has to do with advert, more especially that of noise pollution.
Yeah.
They regulate it. They tell you when to do it. So, to me, I'm saying that what Soludo is doing there, it's not wrong. Believers like me, I'm also a believer. I happen to be one of those who also teach and preach the gospel. It is not wrong. Please, let us also respect the right of citizens. That is my own position in this, and it's my take for now.
Thank you so much on this, Mr. Michael. Well, moving forward, Senior Special Assistant to Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa of Ondo State on security matters Olubenga Atiba on Tuesday stated that farmers who have been the target of bandits in the state were the advocates of their predicament. According to Atiba, who disclosed this while in an interview, says anyone who wants to venture into farming should be asked what plan they have for security. The governor's aide, who dismissed the reports of the attack on the 4 farmstead in Akure North local government as fake, despite confirmation by the police command, stated that people should be cautious of their movement and ensure they withdraw home early and lock their doors. In advanced countries where there are sophisticated technologies like the internet, farmers usually have drones, firearms, and dogs. But our people want the government to do everything for them. Well, it will be recorded that unknown gunmen suspected to be herdsmen on 10 March 2025 have killed over 20 farmers across at least 4 communities in Akure North local government area of Ondo State. The armed assailants reportedly launched the attack in the early hours of the weekend, unleashing terror on the residents. Well, this coming from a governor's aide in a particular state, on those states, do you think this was the right statement to make?
No.
Is it that most Nigerians that are affected by the insecurity going on right now are actually the advocates of their problem as it may? Is it that those farmers cannot, if they had the way to, stop this insurgents, this insecurity going on in the northeast right now, they would not have done it? Because let's not mistake the facts or take out the fact that lives have actually been lost. Does it mean that those people that have actually died during this whole attack actually wanted to die, for whatever the reasons may be, and the issue of insecurity? What do you have to make from the statements coming from the governor's aide?
Okay. The governor's aide who actually uttered that word, to me, I don't think that man is, permit me to say, I don't think he's rational, because if he is, he wouldn't have said that it is the farmer's fault. How can you say that a local farmer on his own, that it is his fault that they die? How? You, as a government, have you tried providing those social amenities that are required? Have you tried standing for them in the area of security? Where will a local farmer get drone from? As a government, and whom he parade to be the security aide to the governor, he is supposed to have come up with either an ideology on how to propagate or provide a means of safety for those local farmers. Mm-hmm. But he has not. Instead, you hear him on the air trying to castigate and cajole these people. No. I think that statement should be withdrawn, more especially from that aide. Mm. Firstly, I also want to condemn the area where he said that the farmers shouldn't be out again. They should come back from their farm early and shut the door. Shutting of door, does it save life? When they are supposed to provide security presence. Mm. Then another thing, you are asking them to go and get arm. Where would they get it from? You are supposed to provide security, either a committee like Soludo is doing out there in Anambra. Soludo have to bring the different security outfit.
If we have to talk about getting firearms, like he stated, what is it? Has it gotten to a point that every individual is legal that is at any age? Because children are also involved in this. So because you are affected by the insecurity in your community, you should go get firearms, and the government should issue it to you. Okay, oftentimes most of them get it from their individual means in any way they want to. When it gets to that point, they say you are not supposed to engage in activities like this because it's the government's duty. But this is more a contradictory statement coming from a governor's aide in a particular state, because it does not mean that this story of killing and all of that, Nigerians are saying that the government actually do not have us at heart, for the fact that in the terror head of Boko Haram comes out, he's to a point that he even taxed those Northerners in order to pay them for the fact that he allegedly said that they sold him out. I think the Sokoto indigenes are mostly affected, that they sold him out, to the military or the army, in that instance. And he also made a statement where he said one of his men was killed. The army, the military has come out to say, we know the hideout of this individual, we know where he is, and we will track him. We're still waiting for him to be tracked. In that instance, this is something that the government is supposed to come out to do for the individuals, coming from someone who is supposed to be a figure. That is more a misplaced priority, if you may ask me.
I think it is misplaced priority too. How can, like you just said, that of, is it Chakra, who was this kingpin's name from the north? We know. I am also, I'll keep saying it, I've said it before in this station, I'll still say it again. Nigerians are not yet ready to comb the menace that is happening in the country. If they are ready, they will do it. I don't think they are. I think there is something that is actually playing between them and those who are doing this thing. And that's at that of Ondo. I am pleading with the governor's aide on security, whatever, to please see how they can set up, is it a security outfit that will prove, since they are saying that all the kidnap and all the killings that has been happening in Ondo, that they are all fake. They should prove beyond that so that we will know that they were fake, or if they are not fake. By setting up a committee. I just told you something. The reason why I cited Anambra was because Soludo saw what was happening in his state, and he had to set up a security outfit called Agone Chamber and one other one. And since then till now, have you been hearing any news about killing and kidnap? No. So you should stop blaming the farmers, the local farmers, and live up to expectation. He is the security advisor to the governor and provide everything that is necessary as to save the life of these people, because they are the Nigerian. It is not him. The Nigerians are these people who are dying every day. They die. Their lives are important too to us. They might also be, they can be president, they can be governors of Nigeria. So please, Mr. Aid, stop, uttering and then deceiving the masses with that language. Live up to expectation. I don't think you've done your job. I don't think you're even doing your job. Because if you are, you won't come out to television station or TV station to say, or radio station to say that they are all fake. Please. Thank you. That's my take on this.
Thank you so much. And let's make a statement about the use of drones that he actually listed out. Where we're still waiting for the military to actually use their drones. How does the farmers, get to get drones that the defense department is yet to get? What's the possibility that individuals of a country would get access to drones that a particular country has really not, we're still waiting, because there was a point where I think they said they wanted to use aircraft to fight, since I don't know what other means that they have tried that it's not working, so they want to indulge into the use of aircraft. If the country has not really gotten to that point that we're using necessary facilities in order to fight back at this terrorist, what is the possibility that farmers will actually have access to those drones? Well, I want to get your thoughts on that, please.
My thought is that the drone issue, I think is a welcome idea, if you ask me, in the sense that
for farmers,
yes, but they cannot provide for themselves. That's just what I'm saying.
So when they have those drones, how do they fight back in that instance?
Let me actually come in. You see, that's the reason why you heard me say that it is the duty of that security advisor to provide this drone to farmers. They know them. They should bring them together, register them. Why the security outfit are there will be controlling the drone. While they are there in the farm section. Now, sorry, I have to say this here. I am privileged to own a security company. And so most times you won't see my personnel out there. Most estates you won't see them, but you see drone running, because we cannot be everywhere. Since we cannot be everywhere, but drone can be everywhere. You can be at a place and you are sending it to and every other circle, getting the information that are from section where you sent the drone. Now, this drone, to me, I think that the government should provide as the farmers to register. Now they will know the number of these farmers and the numbers of them. And now set up a committee who can be running the drone, must not be the farmers themselves. This committee, their own is to either stay in the military environment and be controlling the drone around the farm. And again, have a central contact where these farmers can also get through if there is any emergency. If it is an alarm, there should be one which you can be at the farm section to press, while the communication and sign goes direct to those who control the drone and the military outfit that are in charge of the farm.
You mentioned of farm section. It's so bad at the moment that most of the farmers are not allowed to actually visit the farm because of most of them get kidnapped, get taken, get killed in their farms. So when you're still trying to fight for your life, you're trying to gain security, you're trying to keep yourself safe, what is the possibility that they will have time to
begin to look into the life, safeguarding the life of this farmer? They cannot just go to the farm like that. Okay. They cannot go. Government should provide a means of supervision and security for them. That's my own position. If there is no such thing, how do you think these people will be out there farming? No, they won't go. So government should live up to expectation. That is my own. Okay. As to enable these people on their own, they cannot defend themselves. If they carry arm, you know what I'm talking about. They'll be asked why they. I think there was a story about a farmer who actually disarmed. Is he a S-man or something? I know. I heard something like that, but I didn't really go through it. Where the man disarmed this S-man and then killed this S-man. And I learned that Supreme Court has sentenced this man to death.
Yes.
So what's the energy? What's the fate of a farmer if he should carry arm trying to defend himself? So to me, I don't think it is necessary. So it is better they stay back home until government set up a body that will help them, that escort them to farm, even if government will be charging them some percentages. No problem.
Thank you. Thank you so much, entitled Mr. Michael. Moving forward, House of Representatives has ordered total shutdown of porn websites nationwide. It's directed the Nigerian Communications Commission to enforce the immediate shutdown of the websites in the country. The House gave the directive during plenary on Tuesday. The lawmaker suggested that the internet providers must block access under the new directive. Member representing the Faskari, Kankara, Sabua Federal Constituency, Dahatu Tafoki, sponsored the motion, calling it a step to protect societal values. He said, I would like to move a motion for the need to block internet websites hosting pornographic content and sanction the internet service providers responsible for the posting. The House notes that cyber pornography is fast becoming a global problem and no concrete steps have been taken to cut its phenomenon in Nigeria. Renowned psychologists and socialists around the world have issued stern warning that there are psychological and sociological consequences for creating pornographic content. Nigeria is a highly religious country, and all the major religions in the country forbid nudity and obscenity in any form. Also notes that countries in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East have passed legislation that bans pornography in their domains. The House adopted the motion and mandated its Committee on Communications and Legislative Compliance to ensure its implementation and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, also warned that sanctions would be imposed on internet service providers that default, while lawmakers put a voice note in favor of the motion. Well, I would love you to speak from two perspectives on this because of your stand, and like I'll keep calling you out on that as a religious person or let's say a believer. And the question is this actually the problem that Nigeria is, that the problem that we are Nigerians are agitating for to be to be controlled or looked into? And why has the issue of early child marriage not been taken care of? Because up till now, most of these lawmakers that agreed to this, that eyed to this, most of them actually know what we're talking about. Some of them would have actually been in positions where they have married minors if the case is not taken allegedly. And we know that, really. Well, why is this the main cause of concern? Yes, religious-wise, it's actually not a necessary, fact in order to, look at that, if we have to look at that. But is this actually what Nigerians are agitating for? That is my question. We have electricity there. Do something about electricity. The tariff has been increased. Tariff has been increased. We're not getting the power supply of what we pay for. Network providers have increased their tariff to 50%. Nigerians are agitating. Youth corpers are yet to receive their 77,000 naira. Civil servants that received 33 to 70,000 naira that was increased still do not use anything tangible to do anything. They do not use those monies to do anything, and some of them are paid late, but sometimes 3 months after. An accumulative salary that goes on. Pensioners are there crying out. Those schools are really not in a favorable condition. The health sector, it's something that we're still grappling around. Most of them, when it gets to the point where there's a need for healthcare facilities to leave the country, this is just a situation that we have to look into, because the question would be, is this actually what Nigerians want to see at the moment? In as much as it's a good call, yeah, but is this actually what we want to see? I want to get your thoughts, like I stated, from two perspectives on this, please.
It's a yes and a no to me. I mean, for me, it is a no and a yes for me. When I say yes, as someone who believes in Christ, like I have always told you before this time, to me, it is yes. Now, the no deal whatever thing has also contributed to the nonchalant slash modern attitude of Nigerians, if you ask me. Do you know that even a child who is at home, who you think you're overprotecting at home, to you, you think, you're always with your child, you make sure you follow your child to school, you make sure you follow your child back from school, and you make sure you take this child to church on your own, feeling that, you are giving this child the best parental care and training. Okay. That this child, as far as this child has her phone or his phone at home, there are some of them in school. They don't know about all these things. They don't know about it. But once they're in school, their friends will begin to tell them, now, have you seen so thing? Have you not seen this? Have you heard about this? Have you not heard about that? The person will not be like, what's the website? And you see them writing it down. Once they get home, at that quiet time when their parents saw that they are studying, they will shut themselves inside and then begin to go through this whole thing and begin to learn things that they're not supposed to see, begin to see things they're not supposed to see.
Okay, if I may cut you short, sir, do you know that before now they had the CD plates of most of these things, so it's something that's actually been there. So shutting down sites, since this stuff has been on for I am not going to say I'm against it, but I'm saying that why not?
I'm against it. I'm also supporting it.
It's a two-way thing. Why not we do the right thing? If you care about Nigerians so much, why not get to that point where you listen to the cries of Nigerians, what we actually want, the things Nigerians are calling out for? The price of petrol on a minimum price range, it should be a 900 and something naira. If I can't remember the last time I bought petrol, so I do not know the exact amount. Something. Okay, 945 or 940 to that point, and the transportation prices are really high. Nigerians are saying this is what we want. If you care about them, then do the necessary needs, and then this should be a secondary one, as the case may be. You talk, they write down and tell them, oh, okay, you can go and do whatever thing you want to do. We know that aside that part, most of the news, most of the adverts we see, unless you want to shut down all the advert placements, some of the advert placements have nudity in them. Will you say you also have to cut down on all of this?
I think, like I was actually telling you before, it is not what Nigerians are clamoring for, if you ask me. I think the House equally, I'm coming back to what I was saying before. The House ordinarily, I don't think they are doing what they are being voted for. Those who are there representing us, they are not representing us nothing. They are not representing us even 10%. They are there for themselves, their pocket, and their family. Now, this is not what we want. Nigeria is actually facing the electrical section where we know that if that part is settled in this country, everybody will be happy, including them that are there. They'll be happy. We have these things. We have the hike of things and all that. Nobody is looking at that one. Nobody is concerned. All they after is what will enter into their pocket. And now, somebody, Katafo, I think that's his name, if I'm not mistaken, he has done well. If you ask me, he has done very well. You see, the thing is, it might not be affecting us because we feel we are adults and all that. My dear, if you see what people do in secret, if including those who you see that works like they are quiet people, if you see what they do in secret, you will hate Nigerians. I mean, I was privileged to have badged into someone else's place. Though I was supposed to see the person and I have called and called and called, the person wasn't taking my call. I was like, and someone said this person has been inside over 3 hours. So I went inside. A well-respected person. I saw what the person was displaying with this thing that the person was watching. I was displaying a different thing out there. I felt very bad. And
I asked you a question. What's the difference between this
CD,
and
you said
early
that I was,
child
no, you
marriage?
said I'm coming back there.
Okay.
You said something about CD. You see, if you ask me how many persons in Nigeria watch CD again? Nobody. Because
no, I meant like before now.
And
this
that
has,
was,
yeah,
that's,
the CD plate
that's,
has been there.
that's the
before
reason
now.
why they didn't mention that one. They know nobody watches that again. And those
Okay.
CD plate must have cracked at this time and no longer functional.
Okay.
And now internet has made it easy. You can be anywhere and have it wherever you want to have it. Now the early marriage, I'm condemning that one totally. And even the House of Assembly, if you ask me, they are the ones who are even doing this. They are the ones portraying this, wanting to get a girl of underage. Wanting to marry a girl of underage. Why would you do that? If it is your child, would you want your child to be married at that age? No. It is wrong. I'm condemning it totally because it is not sending a better signal to those who are adults, and it is not also doing that child, good. The experiences this child should have as a child, there are things he should learn. But at that stage, you just see this child because you think that maybe the parents are hungry and all that. You want to just throw money around. And
okay, so why do you think they have not done something to stop it, put a stop to it?
Because they are the ones who are exhibiting the attitude of wanting to marry them. So they wouldn't want to do anything about it. Yes. I don't want to cite anybody, but yes, they are the ones who keep marrying these children at that age, that tender age, when they know nothing.
Somebody will say, how does the price of Gary in the market concern this order that has been set by the National House of Assembly? If we have to check it, you're just like telling an angry man that do not worry, the Lord will provide at the time when the person is angry. It is not in the wrong sense when you say the Lord will provide. But somebody comes to tell you that I want to eat. You provide food for that person first before you tell the person the Lord will provide, if you may ask me. Well, let's also look at the part where I talked about certain advert placements that have been made, yes, where most of these sites, yes, they use nudity in most of the sites to tell their stories of sales of whatever commodity they want to display there in the public. How can that also be controlled, since it is more entirely on the nude part that they are trying to shut down because as a religious country, and then the parts where they stated about the psychological and social effect it has on the individual. How would that also be added to the list? I know you were part of the lawmakers that actually took the stand over this, but I just want to get your thoughts on that instance, please.
You see, even in the church, what the Bible said is that God will bless the work of your hand. He did not say go to church from Monday to Monday and you start disturbing people to come and give you food. There is no way you pray there and that church and money will grow at that time. I know why I cited church. You see, God is a merciful God and he has never failed. To me, I'm living witness. God has always supplied whenever I call him, except that I don't call him. But you must do something. You must do something before you tell somebody God will provide, like you said. You must give them food. You don't just tell somebody God will provide. And God will provide, but God is providing all the money that is coming, you are using to feed your own family and people are hungry. So if God is providing, as he's providing, share it and let it get to everybody. The House of Rep, my own is NCC knows how to control this adverts. They know. That's the reason why you see House of Rep calling on them to shut down nationwide. They know.
Is it this shut down the pornography?
Yes, this advert. They will look at them.
I'm talking about adverts.
Yes, they will look at them. That is the reason why they are calling on them. They are the ones who are in charge. As far as it has something to do with the internet, it has something to do with communication. They know how to either edit and then supervise this thing. Now, I'm also requesting that the House of Rep, while they are on this, they should also ask the NCC to either set up a committee, also e-committee, that will foresee the adverts before it will be either shared online. Okay,
another question is this trying to make most Nigerians or people that Nigerians, because they said Nigeria is a religious country, more holier than we've been? If the National House of Assembly the lawmakers are actually that holy, why has certain steps not been taken? Because I'll keep coming back to that. You know, if we're trying to sanitize the minds of the people, is it not something they say remove the peck from your eye before you remove the what's the type of the other from your neighbor's eye? You know, if you rightly trying to make this country a clean place, why not start from your house? That's the question. Because in as much as this decision has been taken, some people will be for it and some will be against it in that instance. But what gain is this law? Is this order that has been passed here?
Like, I think I would want to say that it is not trying to make Nigerians more holy. They are trying to control it, so that it will not take and become part of Nigerians. It does not mean that.
So why is also the possibility that it's actually a part of some people at a stance?
Yes, some people are addicted to it now. They cannot do without it. Some people, even them that are in the House of Rep, they are addicted. So many of them are addicted to it, and they cannot do without it. But what this person is saying is that we want it to be curtailed. We want it to be controlled. We want it to be something that is not too porous, like this now. There is nobody who you go to that does not have it. One of my pastors, whenever he's preaching, he said, take somebody's phone that is holy and check if it's truly holy. That you must see something. It must not be that one we're talking about, but you must see something else that you're not supposed to see in that person's phone. So it is not necessary that everyone should not look at it or look at it. But my prayer and my cry is that Nigerians should try and see how they can control it. If they are controlling it, not abusing it, like some people use it to sell. Someone will just send it to you and say, this is what I want now. If you can pay, this is what I want now. Like, how? They're doing it now.
I don't understand.
It's a line of business. Someone will just bring porn and send to you and say, how far are you in? This is how much are you paying? Like, you didn't ask this person for this. Why some guys will be like, they will send to a girl. Oh, okay. How far are you in? What's your take? They are sending that thing. They know what they are sending.
So, do you think that this immorality or adultery and the other words that come with it will be curbed if these websites are actually banned, like the National House of Assembly wants it to be?
Yes, yes. If it is not seen anymore on
so
your
you
phone,
do not think that is actually an individual decision? There are no other means that they can do whatever they want to do?
Do you think everyone is supporting or would support this bill? No.
That's why I said
That's the
that
reason
some
why I
people
told
will
you.
be for it
That's
and
the
some
reason
will
why.
be
That's the
against
reason
it.
why I said yes and no. And now let me come back to the no area. The no area. You know, I was somewhere in Bayelsa State last year when a pastor was actually doing crusade. That crusade, he talked about life. He was talking about love and family, whatever love or something. And I said that he's coming. They should start singing. The singing, he went out and get a CD. He was telling them, he said, husband and wife, stop being over holy at home. Stop being over holy at home. You and your wife can be inside. If there's any other thing you want to know, shut yourself, even you alone inside your room, and look at this thing. If this is what will make her happy, if this is what will make him happy, you should watch and know what you want to know. You are husband and wife.
So that's actually not being immoral in that
yes,
instance.
to me it is not, because it is
so
for
it's
husband.
when an individual does
yes,
it.
that is where. So I'm saying that some persons actually also learn from that circle. They learn on how to either satisfy their spouse. I mean, and some to learn, and I mean, equally teach. There are people who professionally their duty is to teach on that. So you cannot take this job away from this person who this a particular section has been his line of business. I think that's my position. So
Thank you on that, Mr. Michael. Well, we will go on a quick break. When we return, we will continue with the rest of the stories. So stay with us. Welcome back. House of Representatives has called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to suspend the implementation of the increment in automated teller machine transaction charges given the economic situation in the country. The decision of the House was sequel to the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by the member representing Esan Central, Esan West, Ebueben Federal Constituency, Edo State, Marcus Onobon, during Tuesday's plenary. Addressing his colleagues on the floor, Onobon noted that the Apex Bank, through a recent circular, prescribed an increase in ATM withdrawal charges and a discontinuation of the free ATM withdrawals for customers using other banks' ATMs, thereby imposing additional financial burdens on Nigerians. Recall that with the new policy, customers withdrawing from their bank's ATM will continue to enjoy free withdrawals. However, a fee of 100 naira will be applied to 20,000 naira withdrawals for customers from other banks transacting from ATMs within the bank premises. The People's Democratic Party lawmaker urged Nigerians that Nigerians are already grappling with multiple economic hardships, including high inflation, increased fuel prices, electricity tariff hike, and numerous banking and service charges that significantly reduce disposable income and negatively impact their welfare. I'll quickly, Mr. Michael, I'd love to get your thoughts on this instance, please.
The Asian lawmaker, I want to say a very big thank you to you for you to have come up with this, do I say, counter policy, counter word in order to see how we can reduce this dirty act that has been eating Nigerians up. I don't know why and how we found ourselves. I don't know how we got here. If you ask me, I don't know how we got here. Like, you have your ATM card. They are charging you for your own ATM card that you're holding. You are the one maintaining your... They're still extorting from them. Why? How? To me, I want to say a very big thank you to this man who has, has on his own decided to be and stand against this particular practice. That he should stop. He should stop. All this while, people have been saying, banking. Do you know that market women no longer send their money to bank anymore?
How do they save their money?
They not save at home. They have what we call...
Which is not safe. That's like the analog stage of saving. During our grandfather's times when they do not want to send their money to the banks and rather, some of them would dig a hole or have the spots where they hide their monies. Is that actually what they do now?
That's what they do now.
But the question now would be... this bank new ATM charges is one out of many issues that Nigerians are grappling over. Can't other ones be catered and checked into? Especially, like I keep calling it out, the minimum wage. If something can actually be done about it, because I really don't know why your face is like that.
I don't see that happening.
If something can be done about it, the ATM charges is about 100 naira for 20,000 naira. This is more like when you withdraw from another bank, you're paying extra on it. I remember the other times when we used to use ATMs to withdraw cash. Three times, for the 3 times that you have to withdraw is about 65 naira, from any bank of your choice. And then now this new charge has come up. The question still is, this ATM that are put there in front of those banks, do they still dispense cash? That's the question, because I'm sure you and I know that when we are ready to withdraw cash, really, we do not go to the banks. We know where we go to get our cash right now. We would rather pay whatever we could just to make sure we get, because oftentimes you go to the ATM machines to the ATMs to make withdrawals, and you notice that they're actually out of funds, no service. You could have been on the queue for about 20 to 30 minutes waiting for your turn, and eventually you do not get that cash in that instance. Well, the question, I still go back to ask that this is one out of many Nigerians want to be the refs to look into this. I will still commend it, but it is one out of many that Nigerians want to be taken care of.
Nigerians wants to be taken care of. Now, everyone, including myself, I've been suffering. I wanted Nigerians to help me too. So, me being here to talk to is another thing. So, I think let's go back to the main facts. Okay. You see, Nigeria, like last time when we talked about this whole charges, I told you that we're already using money to buy money in Nigeria. No or none of these their ATM works. None. None dispenses cash. Instead, bank will go and begin to liaise with these POS owners, where bank on their own will give them money. I don't know what percentage they give to them too. And they are the people threatening early when they said this POS thing that if any Nigerian should buy money, such person should be arrested. The same them. Are we not buying money? Now when you say transfer 20,000, once you make one transfer, okay, let's say for instance, someone who is sick in the village, and the person's bill is supposed to be 40,000, and you send 40,000 to the person. You're telling us that what the person is going to get is about 38,000. I mean 39,000, I think 38,800. It's it now. I think 38,000 or something. So, but has the person problem been solved? No. And if I need something important, I need money, I cannot go to ATM. Me, I will not go. I prefer using the POS because they're the people who are always available. They're the ones who respond to us whenever we go to them. You go to bank and you stay at the ATM dispensing section. You'll be there for like 1 hour, 2 hours. Once it gets to your turn, you hear them say they are unable to dispense cash or usual inoperative, something like that. Some will say server at what they call black. I don't know. So my own is that the whatever should be looked into and be considered. Nigerians are hungry. What we want now is not people Nigeria extorting from us. All we want is Nigeria feeding us, not extorting from us. That's my take. Okay,
thank you so much on this, Mr. Michael. Moving forward, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on Tuesday ordered a ban on parading of suspected criminals before the media by police operatives across the country. Egbetokun explained that the decision was taken in order to uphold the fundamental human rights of every citizen and adhere to global best practices in policing. The top cop, who spoke through the false spokesman Olumuyiwa Adejobi, stressed that the standing directive prohibiting the public parade of criminal suspects before formal charges are filed in the court of law remains. He said this directive had previously communicated to all commands and zones within the police force, adding that it is part of the efforts to modernize policing in the country. Adejobi, an assistant commissioner of police, said the directive reflects dedication to respecting the fundamental rights of all individuals, including those suspected of criminal activity. The IGP emphasized that this policy is aligned with international human rights standards, which prioritize the protection and preservation of the dignity and rights of individuals throughout the judicial process. He, however, warned the senior police officers manning commands and formations to abide by the directives as ordered. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, but let's make a statement of sometimes when the mob takes law into their hands. Oftentimes, let's say an instance, let's give a scenario of the... I'm sorry?
The Alo 4.
Oh yeah, that instance that happened. You know, if we have to refer, like you were on my mind, if we have to refer to that, if this ban was actually put there, like someone would say this is a long overdue situation that we have been expecting in that instance. Before you actually take laws into your hands, you should be sure that, you know, this decision is, and to a point, this act you want to take it to a point is actually a necessary step to take. I'll get your thoughts on this, please.
You know, most times this is whom is being paraded. You know, ordinarily, from what the law said, they are not guilty until they are being proven otherwise.
Okay.
Now, most times when you parade this class of people, and maybe the court of competent jurisdiction will be like, oh, these people are not guilty or they are guilty. Then when the person is not, when it's being discovered that the person was not the person who committed such crime, and you've paraded such person, what have you done? You have dealt with the person's right. You have deformed the person. So GP is always coming up with ideas that I think he consults WAD